Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Monday night live stream. Hope everybody is well. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope your Monday is going suitably, spiffingly well. Hello, VJ as well. Just I know you're kind of you're on the dial up there. I think from are you in Delhi at the minute in an airport on your way to the UK? Hello to you, buddy. Nice to see you in and making it there. I hope your journey's not been too bad so far. And hello to everybody else as well. As you can see behind me, we have a bit of a new set now. We've had a bit of a change around. Things are changing a little bit. Yeah, that's not the neck of the guitar there, Luke. We can try and play it, but no, it is just the microphone stand. So yeah, we've had a bit of a change around, and we'll come on to all that later on and stuff like that. But yes, we are. It's another Monday night where we're talking about the Painting Challenge Showcase, and we're also going to be talking about getting your hobby mojo back when you're in a bit of a slump and you're not feeling it at the minute. Maybe lots of different reasons. We'll come on to all that stuff as well. It's giving you some ideas, some tips, some hot picks of how you can kind of break out of that slump and what to do. So before we go any further, let's have a look. Let's say hello to a few fine folks who are in this evening. Thank you for joining me nice and early. Always nice to get some early folks in. If everybody, there's 33 of you in the chat at the minute. If everybody can say hello, so I can make sure I say hello to everybody that's in the chat tonight, that would be very nice. It's always nice to say hello to the early birds. So, in nice and sharp tonight, I think we had Marcus, the Super Pumpkin Man, was in Brighton early. I'm not sure if he's in now, but he was in Brighton earlier on. Hello to you. We've got Ian in as well. Hello, Lord Maiden. How you doing? Blizzards, all us to you. Andrew Fairbanks. He said he didn't lose his mojo. He just forgot to send his picture. If you're ever wondering about dates for these challenges, because I saw somebody else as well, I think it's Paul Inman, and I didn't manage to squeeze you in, mate. I did notice he just sent me their email about 5 minutes ago, and I squeezed you in. If you're ever wondering about the dates, if you go to the Facebook group in the featured section at the top of the group, I always pin all of the dates to there. If you're in the Patreon, there's always a post in the BlackJack Legacy Painting group in there. If you're not on either of those, first of all, why the hell not? Second of all, if you go to the community tab on YouTube, if you go to my YouTube channel, click on the tab that says community, you will also see a post in there as well. So if you're ever wondering about the dates, I always place them in multiple places so that you've got the information. Where else are we up to now? Paul Taylor, good evening to you. Christian Reeves, hello, sir. Nice to see you at the comedy club there the other night as well with the family. Looks like you were having a very fun night. Hope it was good. Blizzard says Dr. Evil stole my mojo, but he sent it back 3 days later and demanded a refund for the postage. Paul Inman, hello buddy, how you doing? John Estel, he's working on some Marauders tonight. Looking forward to seeing everyone's work. There's some cool stuff in tonight. We've still got decent numbers. There's like 30 submissions there this month. I haven't included mine in there. Just you don't really want to see my stuff. We're here to see your stuff. So yeah, so there's some decent numbers in there. John Binham saying he's here from the start for a change. Nice to see you. Type 40 Taurus, good evening. Major Tom, hello Ed. Matthew Wilkinson's in as well. It says hello. And then sorry about the caps. VJ, as I said, nice to see you, buddy. Robert Zunk, good evening to you as well, mate. Or good afternoon, I think it is. Luke Pryor says, what is up, Rockstars? Hello to you, fella. Scott Latham, good evening to you as well, mate. Luke says, I'm absolutely in the end of a mojo slump, so look forward to hearing this. It's a bit more a case of having lots on my plate and just having to prioritise. Sometimes a hobby has to take a backseat. You are not wrong there, mate. I'm in a bit of a slump myself, if I'm honest, and that's what's prompted tonight's conversation. So just because I know what to do, it doesn't mean I can get myself out of it, but we'll chat about that later. That's fine. Zingbo, hello to you, mate. VJ said his wife claims he never had any mojo. We're all born with mojo, mate. Bucketfuls of the stuff. Ed saying, looking smart in there. It's coming together, mate, isn't it? I mean, if I switch across, you can see a slightly wider shot, but it doesn't make much difference. But yeah, the whole studio has had a bit of a makeover, a bit of a tidy up. The little area through that door that nobody ever sees, where it's got I've got my storage in there, all of my terrain's been stored in there, there's games stored in there, I've got my 3D printers in there, I've also got a washing machine and a tumble dryer as well, and a beer fridge. But like that's kind of like a storage area. All of that's being kind of emptied out and cleaned and redone. The studio, like the kind of like the main table end at the other end. So where I normally sit in front of the TV, that TV is still on the wall, but it's behind the camera now. So what I've done is I've kind of set it up so I've got two kind of distinct areas. So there's an area at the other end with the TV and kind of like the more professional, shall we say, if I'm doing any kind of gameplay and all that kind of stuff. And then because that big table is on wheels and I can move it around, all I've got to do is pull it forward, put the chair on this side, and then I've got like my live stream and my talkie videos and that kind of stuff. If I'm doing any interviews, any chats, you can kind of see I've also got all of my painting stuff behind me as well. So we've had a bit of a move around for potentially bringing back the hobby streams as well. So yeah, everything's kind of changed around a little bit here. If folks are interested, I'll do a bit of a behind the scenes video, but otherwise you'll gradually see it over time, I suppose. Let's have a little look there. Let's just jump ahead again. Where we are. That was it. Everybody was saying nice things. Yeah, that was where Luke was saying it looked like the neck of a guitar. Super Pumpkin Man, hello to you, mate. Luke says, give us a bit of karaoke. You would never say that if you ever heard me sing, buddy. John Ashley Smith, hello. He says, good afternoon from South Ontario. Glad you've made... he's glad you've made the stream. I was going to say, I always try and kind of make the stream. Vijay says, he's going well. New Delhi Airport, waiting for his connecting flight to Heathrow. 21 hours so far, 9 to go. That, my friend, is a commitment. At least by the time you get to see me, mate, you'll probably have had a few more nights sleep of... let me just go back to a few more nights sleep of actually sort of acclimatising yourself to UK. Wayne Haywood, good evening to you. Ian saying, hello, how are you feeling? I feel fine, mate. I feel fine. I'm at a bit of a kind of a creative slump at the minute, and a bit of a kind of like, you know when kind of like writers get writer's block, and it doesn't matter what they do, they just can't like kind of manage to do anything. I'm in that weird mode at the minute, so that's why we're talking about getting your mojo back and all that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping you lot can help me as much as I can help you. We'll be in this together. Let's have a little look here. Jez, good evening to you, mate. How you doing? Josh Price, good evening. Matt Wilkinson's working on a samurai army. Christian saying, yeah, great to get out for the evening. It was certainly a laugh. Yeah, it's. I mean, I obviously saw your pictures, mate. I didn't see the comedy show, but you could kind of tell. You know, you can tell from someone's picture they're having a good time. It certainly came across in the photos, mate. RPD, hello to you. Ian saying, of course, you want to see your stuff. To be fair, this month I painted quite a bit. We obviously had the God Tier Creator Clash, so I did paint quite a bit this month. But I don't really think I've got any kind of photos of them or anything like that. So we'll see anyway. We'll see. Captain Tackless, good evening to you. Paul is it Ridgen? Or let me try and get this right. Is it Ridgen? Is it? Or Rigden? Or Ridgen, might be. Whatever it is, hello Paul, hope you're well. This is, have you tried Masters of the Universe Battleground yet? I haven't, mate. It is still in the box when it arrived to me. Mine is still in a white box. The original box hadn't had the artwork approved when I got mine, but to be fair, I didn't tell them to send it to me. I said I didn't have time to do anything with it, and then they sent it anyway. So that's why that's why I've not done anything with it. Bobby Clark, hello to you, mate. Said he's been making tufts and plenty of mess. Never a bad thing, mate. And Captain Tackler says, you know me as Voodoo Bob. Hello, Voodoo Bob. Greg Cherry, good evening to you, mate. And he's saying, set looks great. Thank you very much, mate. And he says, he's not lost mojo, but tendinitis is kicking my butt. Yeah, that will kind of have a bit of an impact as well, buddy. Luke says, I'm also guilty of going hell for leather at something and obsessing over it constantly and burn out a bit. Take a break and do some other bits, knowing I'll get back to it. I tend not to get burnout. Generally, because I think if I'm once the creative train's running, I'm pretty good at just like because I'm really enjoying what I'm kind of doing. And obviously I've like yourself got the family and everything else as well. Like so they kind of you have to have distractions. You have to have other things going on as well. I'm just checking to make sure. Yeah, I think I've got a separate screen over here, and it was kind of, when the white wheel starts spinning as if something's not working. It looks like it's all right though. So I tend not to kind of get that burnout with this stuff. I just go through, because I work on my own. I don't really kind of work with anybody else. I'll go through kind of ups and downs of kind of loads of ideas, and then you'll get periods of time when not much news coming out, or there's not much I'm interested in, or anything like that. And them's the points where I need to have some, like, I need to get the cogs ticking again. And I'm just in one of those weird moods at the minute, weird moments. So yeah, we'll get onto that later anyway. RG says beer fridge sorted. It has a significant amount of Guinness in there at the minute because I've not been drinking it, so there is a lot of it. Let's have a little look here. VG says beer fridge is essential for hobby. Washer and tumble dryer optional. Washer and tumble dryer is definitely not optional, mate. I encourage everyone to have nice clean clothes. Tony Howell, good evening to you. Luke says, are those custom paint shelves or from a company? Those paint shelves, my friends, are just MDF paint shelves from TT Combat. I think they were about like 12 quid each. There's 3 sets behind me, and I've just painted them the same colour as the wall, basically. So yeah, they're off the shelf stuff, mate. Anybody can buy those ones. Captain Tackler says, you'll know me as Voodoo Bob charity stream. I do know you from that, mate. So I had no mojo for anything, let alone since losing partner in September. I remember, mate, and my condolences again. T-Bone, he says, I love T-Bone. I like that one for Tony. Tizzy Brindrin says, yeah, behind the scenes video would be cool. If that's what folks want, I will happily do that. Joachim, good evening, mate. He said he's tuning in from Copenhagen tonight. Or Copenhagen, I think it is officially. Hello, mate. I hope you're having a wonderful time as well. Dan Kennedy, good evening to you. Said he's joining in a bit to see people's hobby before getting an early night. And the studio's looking good. Thank you, mate. It's one of those things where it's like, you got the idea in your head about how you kind of want it to look, but a lot of this kind of comes from lighting it a certain way, and like sort of, like, so there's a light behind me shining on there, and the ceiling lights are pointing away so that it's a bit darker behind me, and things like having the monitor on there for when I'm doing like my editing, and if I'm watching something while I'm painting or whatever, and even just having the lamp. I went out and bought like the cheapest kind of lamp I could find today, just to put like a bulb in it, just to have, because it's weird when you have a big block of like nothing there down that strip. You need something to kind of distract the eye and have something there. It's all those kind of like, it's all those little things, the dressing and the bits and pieces. Miniature Adventures, hello to you. He says, I've been having a slump recently, so excited to hear your tips. Well, I have at least, how many have I got written down here? I've got 11 tips. Hopefully one of them will help you. John saying, I haven't lost my hobby mojo. I've done this long enough to reorganize the cycle I go through. I now know that the weather is good and more outdoor things to take care of. Yeah, and that is part of it, mate, as well. I kind of get that. The difference for me is it's my job now, and that's kind of like, it's not so easy for me to just go, the weather's nice, I'll just do something else. I have to I need to kick my ass into gear a bit. Paul saying, being a pro artist, mate, I'm well used to losing my mojo or getting artist block. It's a weird thing, mate. It's not something I've ever kind of experienced from my other jobs, because generally I've worked for a company, so the workload gets kind of passed down to you. It's a case of, these are all the projects you need to work on, like whether you like them or not, whether you're interested or not, them's just your stuff, get on with it kind of thing. This is the first time I've really kind of worked for myself and been responsible for my own work, and not worked with anybody else, and being responsible for my own projects and my own ideas and my own workload. And when you get to a point where the creativity is a bit of a brick wall, it is very, very hard to go, because what you do is also you start second guessing yourself, and you start saying, well, that's a bit of a shit idea. I'm not doing that as a video. Nobody will watch that. What's the point in doing that? And you end up second guessing yourself. And I think sometimes you need to make a few bad videos just to get back on the video making train a bit. So yeah, be prepared for a few crap videos. Vijay saying he's packed his Lisbon Blitzball team, and he's carry on as well. He's ready to play. Nice one, mate. Simon Dave, good evening to you. Type 40 Tardis is saying he's got 4 more minis to paint, and he'll hit 75 this month. That's some going, that, mate. VG says, maybe it's the post-victory come down you're mistaken for lack of mojo. Nah, I was in this slump beforehand, mate, if I'm being honest. I think the difference was when I had the God tier stuff, it was just something I had to get done. And I think that's kind of what I'm missing now. I don't have anything that I absolutely need to have done. So I was in this creative slump before that as well. Ridge-on, there you go, mate. Thank you, Paul. Sorry about that. I don't know what it is. I just couldn't get my tongue around the letters there. I don't know what it was. Where are we up to here? It's just jumping around like a jumpy thing on a jumping trampoline. Luke saying burnout is maybe a strong way to put it. I know what you mean, though, mate. I think some people do burn out though to the point where it's not even like a lack of creativity or anything. It's just basically like you don't physically have the energy. Like you can have loads of ideas, you just don't have the energy to kind of keep doing it. I think when it is burnout. Simon Davis says, I lost my mojo for a month, but an upcoming heresy event has given me the kick I need to get stuff done. That might potentially be one of the items on the list. Not the heresy stuff, the event stuff. Miniature Adventure says, trying to get the mojo to build the 6x3 Hobbit Goblin Town. He's got the paper designs down, just need the oomph. Sometimes it's taking that first step, mate, isn't it? Tony says, when I hit a slump in the mini painting, I change focus and do some scenics or terrain. It's all the same purpose but different approach. Yeah, I think the difference with me at the minute is it's not just like painting stuff. I can quite happily pick up a brush and paint something. It's more about having a kind of a bit more of a cohesive plan, I think it is at the minute. Ian says, I can start showing off my Elia Chronicle stuff if it helps. And I've been waiting for this for a year. Yeah, mine's not arrived for me. I haven't got mine yet. Luke says, are they the ones I have too? Good old affordable TT Combat. They probably are, mate, yeah. Evening, Mr. Bray. How are you doing? Happy birthday to you as well. Tony says, I like the background. It's very ergonomically calming. Yeah, I am very much a case of I like things to be calm, relaxing. The colours, the kind of like the blues and the oranges and the kind of teals and stuff like that. All of my paint is kind of in colour organised. As you can see, the yellows and oranges and stuff over my shoulder. Everything is it's all about my kind of mental peace. John says, I'm psyched for our upcoming fishing trip up north for a week. When I get back, I'll have plenty of mojo and I likely some new stuff too. There's a wicked hobby game store not far. Nice one. VG says, speaking of things to get interested in, there's an interesting game just about to hit Kickstarter called Drop Bears. Watch the solo playthrough on the flight. Looks pretty fun. I'm not that big on Kickstarter, mate, at the minute, if I'm perfectly honest. RG saying, +1 for behind the scenes. Super cool if you have the time. I definitely have the time, mate, because I can't think of anything else to do. And James is saying his greetings, all looking forward to seeing the entries. Christian, James saying, how many free beers do you get in the lounge? Christian sharing the link for supporting the Patreon. I would love folks to support me on the Patreon, but I'm not even going to try and advertise it myself tonight. Based upon the fact is I need to get my ass in gear and start making some more content that people can say like that I'm actually living up my end of the bargain. So yeah, I'm not even going to try and ask you to join me on Patreon tonight. Tony says, I see a fighting fantasy book in our near future. Quite possibly, mate. Quite possibly. To be honest, it's not the Monday night streams because I think this is funny because I think when it comes to the Monday nights, like I've got a deadline. Like it's a case of I have to have something to talk about on a Monday. So even if I pull it out of the bag at like 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, like I have an enforced deadline and I have something to come up with. I think the problem is everything else is kind of open-ended and flexible, and that gives me the opportunity to kind of second-guess myself and think about other stuff. But the Mondays is like it's fixed, it's in the diary. I do it every week. I try never to miss one unless I've got like a hospital appointment or I'm away on holiday with a family, something like that. I try and never miss a Monday. So generally, like they're just their kind of things, you know. James is saying his mojo comes and goes and he's learned to accept it and he tries not to force it. Do you know what it is? I think it's obviously like working for myself. This is how I make my money and stuff like that. And I think it just puts added pressure on that when you're not feeling it, you haven't got that kind of creative kind of juices flowing. I think it adds extra pressure, because the best thing I can probably do is just take a step back from it and just, have a break. But then when I do, my brain's going, you need to think of something, you need to do something, you're not doing anything. If you don't do anything, you won't earn any money, blah, blah, blah. So it's a bit of a kind of catch-22, I think. Colin Wakeling, good evening to you. Michael Cowan, good evening. John said he's hoping to catch some largemouth bass and pike and pickerel and avoid the sunfish and crappies. I don't know much about fishing, mate. Ian says, like a pogo stick on a space hopper on a trampoline. It sounds dangerous, mate. Ed says, I love a fighting fantasy book. Next week, we are going to have our guest on the show. We're going to have Discourse Miniatures on the show next Monday. And then the Monday after, we've got another guest on the show, which will be Mr. VJ when he's here in the UK. So the next couple of weeks, I think we'll definitely have plenty to talk about. But we might slide a fighting fantasy in a few weeks. The next kind of painting challenge I'm going to give you tonight gives you 5 weeks until the end of July. So the next sort of what's it called, like the showcase night, won't be until the 1st of August. So we've got like 5 weeks until we have another one of these. So yeah, there's plenty to fill in. Captain Tackler says, I keep sitting down at a desk. I just look at clippers or brushes and think I'll try again another time. I recently did some undercoating. I think was your recommendation to use TT Combat Black Spray. The one I use, mate, is I've used... I'm using some from Halfords at the minute because I ran out. But I've been using Colourforge, mate. The Colourforge stuff's really good. I've not tried the TT Combat stuff. John says, I am... Where the hell did that go? You've mentioned this a few times. Is depression more of an issue? Hope things are okay. I wouldn't say it's depression, mate. I'm not kind of like down. I'm not sad. I'm not struggling to get out of bed. I'm not like kind of having sleepless nights. I'm sleeping like a baby. I never have any problem sleeping. It's just a bit of a kind of a bit of a writer's block, for want of a better word. John says, if I feel a motivational drought, I do something else. Yeah, I know. That's the problem, mate. It's very hard to kind of mentally switch off from it. He says, I'm at the no energy stage, not much hobby related, but it means I don't feel up to setting up and painting in the evenings. I get that as well, mate, yeah. Simultaneously, I think a clear goal is super important as well. Yeah, definitely, mate. Johnson, sometimes he works on a historical model instead of a gaming piece. Yeah, I think just sort of like mixing up what you're painting is definitely a mix of it as well, mate. Right, VG, I will certainly speak to you when you get some more with data and stuff like that, mate, because I can see that it's limiting up. We are going to show your minis off tonight, and I'll make sure that you know what the next challenge is as well. Jez is saying, good guests. Yeah, I like to think there's a good guest on every week. It's just me. Paul says, deadlines make a big difference to drive and inspiration. Having deadline for painting challenge gives me the mojo. There's loads of chat tonight. I'm loving the chat tonight, folks. We do need to, at some point, dive in and start looking at some of our challenges. But I'm gonna do a little bit more chat because there's loads of good stuff in here. Tony saying, awesome, going to be fun. It definitely is. I'm looking forward. I mean, VG and I have kind of chatted over sort of Discord and stuff, and we've done a few live like games over like Tabletop Simulator. But the boy lives the other side of the world, kind of thing. It's not so. It's going to be nice to kind of sit together and chat to you a lot. And so, if you've got any questions for him about his to be fair, he's got plenty to talk about because he's got a bit of a trip around the UK and stuff while he's here. He's going to Mantic and he's going to Warlord and he's going to to Warhammer World. So and then he's going to come up here and play some games as well. So we'll have plenty to talk about. That's for sure. Brother from Down Under says, Super Punkin' Man. Bobby says, is the lack of mojo for yourself, Andy, due to creating your content mostly on your own, feeling the pressure of deadlines? I think being on my own, mate, is a massive part of it. There's like, I don't have any kind of external kind of like any help really from anybody else. My wife, well, she's a massive help and support when it comes to managing house stuff, like, you know, making sure that I've got time to be able to do stuff. Like working around childcare and like letting me kind of have time for weekends to go away to events and things like that and filming and stuff. While she's a huge help with that, she's not that interested in the kind of miniature side of stuff. So it's not like she can come up with a load of kind of good ideas. She doesn't know what the trends are, what people are watching, what's doing well, what's not doing well. That's kind of like that's kind of on me, really. And that's I think sometimes I just need to like. I'm trying at the minute to kind of have more of a network of people, but it's not easy because people do different stuff. People have different content. Like all the people I kind of seem to chat to are all kind of GW creators, and yeah, they seem to kind of be able to have something to talk about very, very often. And yeah, he has at least have clients and other commissioned artists. I think a lot of it is kind of being on my Todd, mate, if I'm being honest. John says, yeah, do a rubbish video showing us around the studio. It's like the first pancake, it never comes out right. You're not wrong, mate. Paul saying, Colour Forge primers are, in my opinion, best on the market in the UK. They're reasonably priced, nice flow rate and smooth finish. The cans are bigger than GW, absolutely, mate. They're all colour matched to GW stuff. They are bigger cans. They go on really, really smooth and really, really matte. And generally, that's kind of all I really use now. I needed some black spray cans to do some bits and pieces, and I just didn't have time to wait for them to be delivered, really. So I just bought up a couple from Halfords, which I've used in the past. But I will be replacing them with the Colour Forge stuff. Jez saying, go for a walk. An hour walk is better than a few hours. To be honest, mate, I've been exercising. I've been going for walks. I'm eating healthy. Like I say, I'm sleeping well. I'm up pretty early in the mornings. It is just almost a case of like kind of like I sit down to kind of work, and it's like my mind is blank kind of thing. And part of what I've done here with the studio and everything else has been about like kind of mentally like, right, I'm going to reorganize, I'm going to tidy, I'm going to kind of sort of tidy space, tidy mind kind of thing. And to be fair, I've only really been finishing it off today, so I've not really had kind of time to. It feels like a really nice place to work in. Like even if I do say so myself, I am super fortunate to have the space, and like 5 years of doing YouTube has meant I've been able to save up money and buy lights and cameras and all of the kit and stuff, and it really gives me the opportunity to be able to have a nice sort of like place to work in. So it's like it used to be a problem before where there was things I wanted to do and I didn't have the space. The space is not the issue now. It is just the creativity. I feel like at the minute, like almost there's a bit of a flat spot in the hobby industry at the minute. Like there's nothing really kind of sort of piquing my interest, and so like even when I'm looking at what other channels are doing, I'm not watching a lot of stuff thinking, oh, I should have done that. That was a good idea, kind of thing, because a lot of them are very much 40k focused or talking about Horus Heresy at the minute seems to be the buzzword. But yeah, so yeah, it's not necessarily the exercise on it, mate. I'm losing weight. I'm kind of like intentionally losing weight. Kind of like trying to sort of like not snack and like sort of keep off the booze during the week and stuff, and go for exercise and walking. Like everything else, I'm pretty good with, mate. Fisher said he's still lurking as he boards. Type 40 Todd says, you guys are making me wish Colour Forge primers were available in the US. I'm not sure if they're not, mate, to be honest. I'm not sure if... I think they might be soon. They certainly were talking about it. Simon Day says, Discourse seems like a good one to collaborate with. Looks like she plays a lot of different games. Discourse is like... I know people kind of talk... like, or people who are very passionate GW fans kind of see her as anti-GW. But I think, actually, when you listen to her, like one of her videos, if you speak to her, like I've spoken to her quite a lot over the last few weeks, like she makes a lot of relevant points. Yes, her videos are kind of edited to be quite fast and snappy, and that's the whole point. It grabs your attention and it kind of holds you through. That she does a really good job of that, and it's not for everyone. Just like what I make is not for everyone. But she's super smart, and she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she knows a lot about gaming as well. So I'm really looking forward to kind of doing a bit of a live stream with her next week. John says, I'm old school. I still prime by brush. I don't think I've ever primed by brush, mate. RPD says, I wish I could get a shed. A man cave would definitely paint more, as the painting space is depressing. This is awesome, and hear me, I'll be perfectly honest. It feels like I've got like a little kind of like a little place of my own here. It's not like, because of what I've done tidying round and stuff, I have got mountains of space in here. VJ will be able to tell you when he comes in a couple of weeks. Like it's a nice place to kind of hang out. I can quite like. There's a big TV down there. Part of me's thinking about bringing my PlayStation down here and just like putting like a drinks cabinet on the wall or something. Luke says, my focus has definitely been more on weightlifting lately. I think that's made me not worry so much about the painting. Hobby-wise, mate, you should never worry about your hobby stuff. Like, that should never be something that even kind of sort of crosses your mind. Hobby should be something that is definitely, like, it's there for fun. It's there to have a break from, like, day-to-day life and stuff like that. 100%. Just since she cracks me up and she's generally bang on her opinions. Yeah, I don't agree with everything she says. I think largely we agree on the point. I think sometimes we get to that point from different opinions. I think sometimes. Andrew saying, I need to clear my space and have time that's not occupied by work or dishes or children. Yeah, as much as I absolutely love my kids, all three of them, but sometimes I do kind of crave just like some peace and quiet. Samir Patel says, hello, dang, I thought Painting Challenge Showcase was going to be next week. Why does everybody think it's next week? I always give the dates out. John says, I consider myself lucky I have my garage as a hobby room. Space heater keeps me warm enough all winter long. Yeah, to be honest, in here it's pretty much the same. During the summer, it's nice, it's insulated, it's pretty cool in here. Even when it's roasting outside, it's quite nice to be in here. During the winter, it can get a little bit nippy, but I've got like a little heater in here, and then obviously I've got a tumble dryer next door as well. So like when I'm kind of washing the clothes and stuff like that and putting the tumble dryer on, it kind of kicks out a bit of heat as well, so it's not too bad. Simon Dave says, if nothing's piquing your interest, it might be good to try something outside of your comfort zone. New game systems, new modelling. I'll come on to that, mate, because there is some stuff that I've kind of, today, have been looking at. So, Ian says, it's a reason why I go to work, so my hobby desk is my hobby desk. 100%, mate. And Tony's saying, to have a hobby cave, but rarely get the opportunity to use it. It's funny, I mean, it's only since I decided to do this full time I thought about converting the garage over, like, properly like this, and it took a bit of money to be able to do it, but like luckily I'd saved up money to be able to do that. I think while I was just doing it as a bit of a hobby, it was a bit of an extravagance really to convert this place over. Christian sharing the links there for the OG BlackJack Legacy t-shirts and hoodies. I'm not repping one tonight. I'm actually repping one of my House of the Unholy t-shirts, which is from Motorcycles down in Birmingham. I went there with my son last weekend, was it? Not weekend gone, weekend before. We went down for a bit of a visit. He's looking for a motorbike. So we had a bit of a day trip out, which was very nice. And I treated myself to a t-shirt. John says, I plan to repaint the garage sometime this summer. It's gotten a bit dingy and purge of accumulated junk. Yeah, I mean, this wall behind me was white breeze blocks until last week. The guys in the Patreon will tell you, because I was kind of sending some pictures over. And Andrew's saying I got a 5x5 storage unit to store my extra boxes. That's terrible, isn't it, when you need somewhere to store the stuff that you're not using. Samia says, date mix-up happened at my age. Nice to hear I'm not the only one. Don't have a clue club. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I always post all of the details in a number of different places. So if you're ever not sure, there's plenty of places you can go and find out. Lord Maiden says, the green screen wall. Yes, that's the wall that is not a green screen, but could have been a green screen. Tizzy Brinter says, that's what it is. I thought it was a band t-shirt. No, so basically it says, let me move the microphone here. It says House of the Unholy. There you go. And then it says Birmingham, England on the bottom, and then it has stuff on the back as well, there you go. So yes, I'm one of the cool kids now, obviously. Samir says, I've missed the cutoff for the last 2 months. Right, I'm going to tell you now, Samir, right? This is just for you, right? The next one is going to cut off on the 31st of July. The 31st of July, the last day of the month. You won't be able to get the next one wrong, okay? Bobby says, I can see how it's tough for you, Andy. If there's little new out there in the hobby of the world that floats your boat, the pressure of Patreon content must feel like running through treacle. I think it's kind of self-fulfilling, kind of. It's a bit of a vicious circle, really, that you're struggling to find things to do, so there isn't anything to make about, and then you worry that you're not making anything, which then puts pressure on, and then that stops the creative flow, and I think it ends up getting into a bit of a cycle. I just need something to get my juices flowing, basically, and get my teeth into. It'll happen. Something will happen, but yeah. Stop making Andy move around so much. I need to keep his back in proper shape. What was that date again? 31st, 31st of July. Right, let's get in and have a look at some of these pictures anyway. Let's have a look at the first lot. So, we've got 30 submissions tonight. Let's have a look at the first 10. And I've done them in reverse order of when they were submitted. So the first ones you see were the last ones that were submitted. Just because that's the way I went through the emails. Apart from Paul Inman, who actually was so late he had to go on to the end of the list. So first up was Mr. Luke Pryor tonight. Let me get over to here. Oh, and it's all still working as well. And I've got everybody's emails on my phone here as well. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the comments. So this one is Tin Khan, a great play on the old school wrestler Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik. I always find the Rumble Slam humour a joy, he says. This is pretty cool. Not only is it a pretty cool mini, it's very nicely painted as well, mate. Love the air, the detail and the shading. And very, very brave of you as well, doing the kind of the lines on the top there, because I know I wouldn't have done that. Mine would have all been one colour. But yeah, I like it, mate. I like it very much. Looking pretty cool. Nice bit of background as well there, setting it off. And I hadn't actually seen the back picture. But there we can see it as well with the cogs and the inner workings there. I like it, buddy. I like it a lot. So yes, nice bit of work there by Mr. Pryor. Thank you very much to you, sir. Let's get on to the next one. We've got Mr. James Zom. And James has started a new Word Bearers army with the new Heresy set. He said so many more to go. But I tell you what, mate, you might have more to go, but you've started with an absolute blinder here. Love what you're doing. I never get this right, this kind of dust round the feet thing. I've tried it and I end up like, I need to buy some pigments, I think, or something like that. But these look really cool, mate. Lovely, clean, sort of just finish to it, the whole thing in terms of the paint job. Like nice bits of highlights where they need to be highlights. And yeah, I'm just trying to zoom in. Is that I think that's what they call like a transfer on there, but it just looks, it's really well applied, mate, to the point where it's very hard to tell, which is a good thing. And the terrain in the background looks nice as well, mate. Sets it off. So yeah, good work to you, buddy. Next up, we have Mr. Paul Taylor. And Mr. Paul Taylor here. He said, it's over, I have the high ground. That was all he wrote in the email, which I quite like. So yeah, we got Sisters of Battle there. And what used to be a Space Marine by the looks of things. Very nicely done. Looks like his skeleton's climbing out of his armour there. You can see it a bit better from that angle as well. I love the little kind of diorama base as well. Looks really cool. Nice paint job. Sets it off really nice with the background as well, mate. And then it's nice to kind of just to put it in a bit of context in the little kind of, the little bell, the glass bell dome thing there. It looks nice, mate. I love that. Very, very nicely done. Nice bit of work, mate. Thank you for entering and congrats on the submission. Next up, we have a certain Mr. Daniel Kennedy. Dan, how you doing, mate? He says this is what he's done for this month's challenge. And he hasn't told me what they are. So I'm assuming that these are rats for Kings of War. Very nice, mate. Love the basin. And very nice on the details as well with the rats there. I'm assuming they are suitably tiny. So good work on them, mate. As always. I remember you painting this, but this was, I think you said something about this was the first, like, you've really been pushing using the airbrush on this one, I think, wasn't it? And that one is looking pretty awesome. I think there's some more of this one as well, so we can really get in and see it. Some lovely changes on the skin tones as well between the kind of like the greens and the reds. Really does work well together, mate. You can see it better on the wings and stuff from that angle as well. That one there looks awesome, mate. Yeah. I don't know where the model's from. I'm sure you'll tell us in the chat, mate, but it is very, very nice. Lovely model, bud. Very nice indeed. And then we've also got, I think it's Colel, isn't it? Or Coilel, I think it is, from Super Fantasy Brawl, which is an awesome mini as well. I think, have I painted this one? I'm not sure if I've painted this yet. I've certainly got the mini. I can't remember if this is the ones I've painted. I don't think I have. I don't remember painting the little dinosaur. But yeah, awesome work. Oh, look at those eyes. The detail on those eyes, mate. You couldn't be more perfect if you tried. I love that. And then we've got these bad boys. Whatever these are, I'm not really sure what they are. You might have to tell me what they're for, mate. I'm not sure what game they're for. But they look cool. Love them as well. So yeah, nice as ever, mate. Always some fantastic work from you, Dan. Next up, we have a certain Mr. Zingbo there, Chris Lupton. And Chris has been working on Master Captain Odetta here. Is it? Or is this one? Or has it shown? Let me. Has it shown? There it is. Let's show them in a different order. Master Captain Odetta, a Terminator captain from High Tech Miniatures, painted up in the colours of his homebrew Space Marine chapter, The Thousand Blades. I love that, mate. Love those shields down there as well. Looking particularly nicely done. But yeah, that looks some very nice. I don't want that to be freehand because it looks perfect. It puts me to shame if it is, but yeah, they look cool, mate, as well. I really like the symbols on there. Like those, mate. Nice models. And then next up we have, let me have a look down here down the list. We've got Pinata, I think it is, a kind of odd model for TT Combat's Rumble Slam. Though he's going to be using it as a Chaos Spawn in Warcry. I like that, mate. I saw this model at UK Games Expo a few years ago, and I've always liked this one. It's very, very nice, and I love the bright colours you've used as well. Perfect, mate. Absolutely perfect. Next up, we then have an axe-wielding warrior and giant boar from Merce Miniatures. Again, these models will see use in Warcry as a Chaos Warrior and a Razor Goal. Very nice, mate. Love the detail on here. Very, very nice indeed. I think you can see a bit better there as well. Nice, man. Love the basin as well with the tufts and the sand. And then Vicious Midget, the first of my Moonstone models to get painted. Finally, I picked up the starter set after your top 5 games of 2021 live stream last November. Thank you very much, mate. And then there was that one as well that I missed off, which was the better picture of the other the single picture. Sorry, I should say of the warrior. Very nice work there, buddy. Loads of air submissions. Good work this month, mate. Next up, we have a certain Mr. Scott Webster. I always like Scott's pictures. That just like absolutely sets it bang in the universe, doesn't it? It said this is his 2 Protectrons from Fallout Wasteland Warfare. I did see as well today, I think there's a new starter box coming out for the game. Love the scenery as well, mate. It's very nice. But yeah, they're awesome. They are very the original Lost in Space kind of danger, Will Robinson. That's what I'm kind of seeing in them. Nice work, mate. And then this one is a Rashar Cult Enforcer for Carnivalia. Very nice, mate. Love the mixture of the greens and blues on there as well. Very, very nice. And again, as well, set with a nice background as well, setting it off. Awesome work, buddy. Congrats on that. Next up, we have Mr. John Binham. And John, he said he's got his second skyscraper, the Hornet, and also Voket. So this is the skyscraper for the Marauders for Firefight, or now for Dead Zone as well as they are. Love the colour choices as well, mate. That's a beautiful kind of blend round of the flames and stuff, and the lenses on the glasses as well there on the eye. Very, very nice, mate. Love that. Love the colour choice on the tufts. Yeah, they're looking beautiful, mate. Yeah, I'm assuming, are these ones resin, mate? I've not seen these ones without paint on. Are these resin models, these ones? He also has his Hornet there as well. Very nice. Loving this the nose detail here as well. We were just talking about that on the live stream last week. I was thinking about doing something very similar. Love the kind of the grime streaking as well. The dirt coming down there. Very nice, mate. It just in the kind of the weathering, it really does set it off. Looks awesome, buddy. And again, really nice work on the bases. Yeah, beautiful model. Well done, mate. Really, really good job. And then last up, we have, is it Vorket again? Yeah, so Vorket is, I'm pretty sure, and they might keep me right here, I think this one's from Wild West Exodus. But I was looking at this one today, and the detail on here is unbelievable. I love what you've done. This, like, obviously the detail on the teeth, if I zoom in there, you shouldn't be able to see that like, you shouldn't be able to paint that well that close up. But this kind of chewed up bit of meat here or something, that just looks suitably gory and awful. Which I think is somebody's head missing. Basically, that looks like a butt and an arm here, but it could be anything. And judging by the remnants hanging around, I think that's exactly what it is. But yeah, beautiful work, mate, if you can call it beautiful. But yeah, really, really nice work, buddy. Love that. Next up, we have Mr. Jez Hunt. Jez sent me loads of pictures here, so we'll pop through these. And he says, he sent me a lovely email here, so I'm kind of going to paraphrase through it. Basically, he's been working, couldn't bring any hobby stuff. He's been lugging tools and clothes for a 6 month stint. He said, but luckily there's a couple of gaming shops within half an hour's walk, so he's actually been managing to do some stuff. And he saw a second-hand copy of Talisman going cheap, so he's decided to grab that in a few basic colours, and he's basically piled in. So this is awesome work, especially bearing in mind that you're kind of like working like on the fly, mate, with a few things you can just get your hand on. Yeah, I don't think I've seen your painted stuff before, mate, but these are really, really nice. Nice work on them. Very nice indeed. You can see some of the different angles of them as well. Those frogs look suitably frog-like, which is, of course, they should. Love these, mate. Really, really nice. I've never played Talisman before. I've seen it like many, many times, but I've never ever played it. But yeah, some beautiful work on these, buddy. Really, really nice. And I am assuming, are these, oh, they got some cheap Reaper Bones classic D&D trolls as well, so painted that up too. Nice, man. I like it. Good to see you getting some hobby in, mate, as well, which is never a bad thing. Next up, we've got Mr. Peter Koeman. And Peter said he didn't have lots of time as his mum's been in hospital for over a month now. I hope your mum is on the mend, mate. So he's done a Reaper mouseling, and he did pretty fast. I like it, mate. Love the work you've done on the cheeks there as well. Proper cheeky looking little thing. I've never seen a Reaper mouseling before, but now I have. And nice bit of work there as well with the basin as well, buddy. Awesome stuff, mate. Love that blue as well. Very nice. Beautiful work. Thank you very much, Peter. And last in this section, we have Mr. Colin Beale. And Colin said he's got 10 items completed this month. He's got the 7 monsters from the Horrified board game. So that's what we've got here. So we've got the Mummy, we've got the Invisible Man, we've got Bride of Frankenstein, I think it is. We've got Dracula, the creature from the Black Lagoon, got Frankenstein and Wolfman. And then he has also been painting. He said a guitarist, that's a friend's birthday present in July, which is really nice, mate. I remember you talking about this in the Patreon when you were looking at this model. Really nice, buddy. And then he's also been painting some Necromunda Underhive walls as well. He says, thanks for the encouragement and inspiration these challenges provide. You are very welcome, my friend. You are very welcome. So, let's pop back into the chat, see what folks are saying, and then we'll dive back in and have a look at some of the other stuff as well. I won't read everybody's comments because obviously there's a lot of kind of comments about specific pictures and stuff, but I'm sure you'll have seen some of them as well as you were reading through them. Yeah, Zingbo saying the chapter symbols are decals. That's kind of put my faith back in humanity, mate. They looked absolutely perfect, but the fact that it was really difficult to tell me that they've been applied really well. Yellow Belly Tabletop, good evening to you. Nice to see you. John saying Dan's big mini is a 3D print. That Rad's been printing them and Dan's been painting them. I think Rad gets that beauty. I think that's a pretty good deal for Rad, that, mate. And yeah, Dan's saying it's the Chunky Boys are 3D printed. Very nice, mate. Let's have a little look. Yeah, Danger Will Robinson. Exactly, mate. RG saying awesome first set of submissions. What a talent bunch you guys are. There's some awesome stuff in. I think this month, obviously, there's been a few less, but as I mentioned in the Patreon group, I think whenever it's a very open-ended kind of challenge, we always get less. But I would say there's been, I think because people are just painting what they want to paint, there's been some really, really like sort of super good submissions this month as well. Let's have a little look down here. Somebody is saying the dropship's really cool. What's it from? It's from Firefight, made by Mantic Games. It is the Marauders dropship. Yeah, Paul saying love the Fallout robots in the background. Yeah. And he says, yeah, Danger Will Robinson was his first thought showing our age. Sorry, mate, I'm old. What can I say? Luke saying, yeah, the mini is fabulous. Did you see it was Wild West Exodus? It is Wild West Exodus, mate, yeah. Yes, I say I'm a gobshite. I like it, mate. I like to read the emails. Tony saying, yeah, loves the Mouselands. Nice work, Peter. And best wishes for your mum. Absolutely, mate. Tony Booth-Leiden, good evening to you, buddy. How you doing? And he said he's my major is coming. Oh, my Mojo is coming back. Looking at all this awesome work. Yes, I hope it does, mate. John says you need to get a 3D printer now to swap it for Dan's painting. I've got a 3D printer, mate. Maybe that's what I need. Samia said a few less because he thought it was next week. It could be that as well, buddy. It could be that as well. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll dive back in then. Seems I've kind of caught up with that one. We might as well dive back in and do some more because time-wise, how we're doing. If I can get through these ones by 10 o'clock, the next bit, we'll get through these next ones by 10 o'clock. Then I'll do the stuff about kind of getting your mojo back, and then we'll do the last set after that. Camo, good morning to you. RPD says, sorry if it's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions, mate, don't worry. But where do you send the pics in, and what do you read the rules? I'll go through it all later on as well, mate, but like for the next month's challenge. But you send the photos to me at BlackJack. The email address is blackjacklegacy@gmail.com. And I put all of the kind of about the subject and what the dates and stuff are. I put them in the Blackjack Legacy community Facebook group. I put them in the community tab on YouTube, and I also put them in the Blackjack painting challenge thread in the Patreon chat as well. So there's a few different places you can get the information. And Simon Dave says, is there a theme for challenge for next month? There is, mate, and I will tell you what it is. Actually, I'll show you the next 10 kind of submissions, then I'll tell you about the challenge, then we'll do the other stuff. So yeah, let me go back to, let me get them off the screen first. And next up we have Mr. Ben Mitchell, and Ben is saying this month he's excited to have a free pass and catch up with some painting older projects until someone decided to show the world a little game called God Tier. So he's been painting some God Tier minis. Here we have Grimgut and his Wretchlings, which if anybody saw me playing in the Creator Clash, you'll know I also painted and played this model. Very, very nice work, mate. Very similar idea that I had as well, kind of keeping it all like yellow as well, which looks suitably slimy and grimy, and I love the tufts on the bases as well. Very nice work, mate. Love the different kind of shades to the skin tone too. And then he's also got Morrigan there as well with the cold bones. And I think people seem to think, like, there's a lot of people paint this as like fire and stuff, but it is meant to be kind of like sort of ice and like frozen, almost a little bit like wildlands type things. But yeah, really nice, mate. Very nice work. Love the snow on the bases as well. Really helps with the theme. And the colour choices are the kind of purpley blue and the pinks as well. Really do go nice with that kind of pale blue skin. So yeah, awesome work, buddy. So he said he received the package in the mail just under 2 weeks ago. It's pretty good going, that, mate, to get all those done in 2 weeks. Next up, we have Mr. VJ himself. And VJ has been painting some Monpok or Monster Apocalypse stuff. Says this is General Hondo or Comi Kong, as seen by his CCCP rocket. Chipping up his armor was a lot of fun, and the contrast for the skin and fur made quick work of the bulk of the model, as they usually get bogged down in the details. This is really nice work, mate. This is where contrasts kind of come into their own, I think. They look awesome. They do a great job of this kind of stuff. I love the rocket launcher on the top as well. I didn't notice that at first, that it was actually a truck. It's very very nicely done, mate. I've never really sort of seen much about the Monpok models. I must have a look at them. But yeah, very, very nicely done, mate. I didn't even notice that as well. There's like a truck hanging off his chest as well as a medal. I like it. Really nice work, mate. I like them on the clear bases as well. And a nice kind of bit of weathering and chipping on there, and the contrast done a sterling job as well with the kind of the fur as well, mate. So awesome work there. Awesome work. Next up, we've got Demetrios. That is Frantic to some of you who might know him by Frantic. And he's said he's managed to paint the Titanicus starter set in just 2 weeks, which is rather fast for his standards. He said it's a traitor force, with the Titans being Legio Mortis and the 2 Knights being House Morbida. That might mean more to some of you folks. As you know, I'm not that up on the 40k stuff, but these are very nicely painted. Love the bases. Love the kind of candy red on them as well. Look really nice. I've got no idea of context for kind of like size of these things, but they look awesome. And yeah, a nice group shot there of everything done. And he said he's managed to do these lot in 2 weeks, which I think is good going on anybody's list. Really nice, Demetrius. Thank you very much for submitting those. Next up, we've got Adam Winitya, or Wisnitya, I should say. And he said he's painted 600 points. Is it Sirith or Kurith? Kurith Ungol Army for Middle Earth tournament next month. So yeah, this is not bad going, mate. People are definitely pulling out the bag on the volume of stuff this month, that's for sure. They are looking pretty special. I like them, mate. Nice work on the basin. Everything looks really kind of like nice and uniform together as well. Looks like a proper army. Nice, man. Loving these. It's nice that there's a mix of colours, but it still feels kind of coherent, like an army as well. And this horrible blooming spider thing. Anybody that has arachnophobia, I do apologise in advance. Nice work, mate. Good work, Adam. Thank you very much for submitting those. Next, we've got Yoakum. And Yoakum sent me quite a chunk of pictures here as well. And he said he hasn't had access to his hobby room due to a guest for a while, so he's had to take pictures outdoors. But I hope it works anyway. It certainly worked fine, mate. And he says these are 2 beautiful ladies and 2 yoga gym boys from Venice who are ready for the beach. And also added a surf dude in form of an hourglass from AOS. Very nice, mate. So these are from Carnivore, I should say. Nice, man. Nice work. I love that purple as well on the trousers. The highlight on the trousers is really cool too, mate. Nice work. Nice one, yeah. The purple and pink highlighting is really, really nice. Nice sculpts as well. The bases as well. I don't know if they're custom made or if they come with the models, but they're nice, man. Really, really nice. The hourglass is really nice as well. Is this some kind of color shift paint or something like that, mate? It's very nice. Nice bit of base in there as well. Yeah, it does look a bit color shift there as well, doesn't it? Looks nice. I saw these pictures in the Patreon chat as well. The water looks absolutely amazing. You've done such a cracking job on that, mate. It looks wet. It looks like really kind of foamy. And I love the colour transition you've got going from the tentacles through the body here as well. Really, really nice. And that kind of pink on there. Beautiful colour choice, mate. And the water looks fantastic. You should be rightfully proud of those ones, mate. Yeah, this one, lovely highlighting as well there as well. Really nice. Good work on the eyes. I'm going to zoom in because they look super good. I never get eyes that good. I'm super jealous of those. Good work, buddy. Very, very nice. Even nice with a little bit of background on there as well. Looks like a postcard from California, mate. This is because this is the summer one, isn't it? I love it, mate. I love it. Nice work, buddy. Nice work. I love those. Next up, we have a certain Mr. Ian Pennells. And Ian has said, let's have a look. He said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll open them up. And he said, I don't know if I'm reading these out in the right order, but he says there should be Flaming Skulls, which is the LordJack gang, the orc in the middle with the 2 axes. Here he is. And so we'll come on to the next one in a second. These are pretty cool, mate. Love these. Love the colour choices as well. They feel like a ragtag bunch together. Love them. Love the flames on this on the clothing here as well. The green hair was an inspired choice. I like that. Nice work, buddy. Next up, he said the Valkar's gang, which are 6 elves. And these are from the gangs of the Undercity. Oh, let me skip across until we get to those. And that's it. These are from gangs of the Undercity. Nice, man. I like these. These have got a very sort of futuristic, what am I thinking of? Like cyberpunk type feel to them. I like them, mate. Really, really nice. Nice minis and well painted. Right, and then he says we've got the goblins and ninja from Bushido. So let's have a look and see. Let's go. Skip back that way. There we go. These ones are from Bushido. Nice work on the bases as well, mate. Really kind of makes them feel like sort of feudal Japan, if you like. I do like that. Nice work, mate. Nice colour choices. Love the frog here as well on the hat. Nice one. And what we got here? So we got some dinos as well. The dinos are from Dodos Riding Dinos. The fun to paint. The board game's great to play with more than 3 people. So we got some here, which will look really cool, mate. Again, love the colour choices as well. Some really nice stuff. And this one as well, which I kind of skipped over before. Love them, mate. They are nice board game pieces, them. Very, very nice. And there's a bit of a glamour shot of them all together as well. Nice work, buddy. Good colour choices, mate. Board game pieces need to stand out. That's exactly what you've done, mate. Grand job. So thank you very much, mate, for submitting those. Good work again this month. We've got Mr. Kev Preston next. So he said he's got some models painted this month from Smuggers, which are like Jawa-like aliens from Black Cat bases. And at the back are some fantasy steampunk infantry inspired by Turnip 28. He says next to them, I'll tell you what he says and then we'll kind of look at the pictures. Lion-like alien bodyguard, which is a HeroClix figure inspired by a model he saw on YouTube. And he said most models he's done for a mega sci-fi fantasy steampunk game he's planning. And can you spot the homage to the Aliens movie again? I may have to go into hiding if you realise what it is. Oh, I'm not good at getting these Aliens movie references, so let's have a little look. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on this one. I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. No, I'm not good with the alien references, mate. But good work on the models, buddy. So this one here, I think he's saying is the HeroClix one. So yeah, so these ones at the front here, these are the Jawas. Ian sending something through on the Patreon group saying the picture I forgot to show. I didn't forget to show me. I showed all the ones that you sent me. You might have forgot to send it. In fact, I'm going to go. Thank you very much for those ones, Kev. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to Ian's. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 pictures. So there was this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I definitely showed all of them, the ones that I've got. Is there 6 in the email as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's 2 pictures of the there's 2 pictures of those ninjas. He did have one with these facing forward as well, but I must have forgotten to copy it across from the email. Apologies, Ian. Next up, we've got Mr. Marcus Schneider. And Marcus, he says, so since in the summer I always get in the mood for retro sci-fi, I painted a few Fallout minis since they have a retro feel. I love this. I saw this when you sent it through me. I thought it was really cool. He is a Securiton Enforcer, yes man, and the Sergeant from Fallout New Vegas. I love that, mate. That face is great on there. I would have that as like a profile picture on something. Really nice work, mate. Love it. Nice bits of edge highlighting on there as well. Really makes it stand out. I've never seen these minis before. They look fantastic. I love it. I'm trying to see if you've painted that, mate. That is unbelievable. Did it come with like is that freehand or something? It looks awesome. It's hard to tell from the picture. It looks brilliant though. I mean, it looks like it could. I've got no idea. It looks brilliant though, mate. Really nice work. I love that mini. Thank you very much, buddy. Next up we have I'm going to butcher your name now. I apologise. Is it Matish? Let's have a look at his stuff. And he said, for this month's challenge, he's been speed painting the first half of the Firefight starter set, a demo in his shop. He went for a simple paint scheme using only 4 colours. A white primer, blank Templar on the undersuit, red and yellow for the unit markings, and metallic for the weapons. He said they gave them a streak and grime wash. Not the greatest paint job, but a quick and easy scheme, and took about 6 or 7 hours to paint. Do you know what it is, mate? It's an effective paint. It's an effective paint scheme, and it looks really good. So do not do yourself a disservice. They look really cool, mate, and you would never tell that you'd kind of rush through those. Basing looks great as well, mate, and a glamour shot like that, seeing them all together, always looks cool, mate. These look good as well. Love the colour choice here on the shields, on the enforcers, and love the colour choices on the shoulder pads as well. Nice simple scheme, just done really well, buddy. Love it. I've painted these as well, so I know kind of like, I know what they like to paint, and I know kind of, you're picking out bits of details and things really, so awesome job, mate. Love what you've done with these. Great colour choice. Even just marking out the leaders as well with the little red markings on the top of the helmet. Just works really well. Beautiful work, mate. Really well done. And then we've got Mr. Tony Howell. So Tony, he said he's basically, I'm going to show these 2 shots first, just so you can kind of, you can see this. This, Tony, is unbelievable work. Obviously, he's been pouring resin in here into this kind of cavern and stuff, which he's been doing as part of like a dungeon sort of diorama type thing. And I'll show you the other pictures soon. But that is just, I mean, it looks real. If I zoom in there, basically, to take off the edge of the board, that could be taken out of any kind of fantasy movie. That looks absolutely awesome. We've got the little adventurer stuck down there outside the dungeons as well, in the caves underneath. The resin pour went absolutely perfectly, mate. I'm really, really impressed with just how good that is. And then this is what it looks like. It's part of a bigger piece of work. So Tony's been working on these bits kind of separately and then kind of put them all together as a piece of work. So what you've got is above ground, you've got this dungeon with all of the cobwebs and stuff and the tiles on the floor. The steps that go around the back there up to another piece at the top here. And then downstairs, underneath, you've got the cavern underneath. It's just an amazing piece of work, mate. It's absolutely fantastic. You should be rightly proud of the work you've done this month, mate. On that, it looks amazing. So that's the end of that group. So yes, well done to everyone whose stuff's been up so far. Awesome work. Yeah, sorry, Ian, I've just seen there you showed the back of the goblins. I forgot to copy it across from the email, mate. I apologise. Yeah, everyone's saying nice things about everyone's work there as well. So I'm not going to go back and read everybody's comments. What I am going to do, everyone's saying, yeah, that diorama, dang, and this is so cool. It is cool. It was awesome. I was sitting looking at the pictures ages when I was copying them across on the emails. It was just like, it was nice to see them. Like, obviously I've seen them on my phone and stuff, but to see them on the screen of my computer meant I got to see them up nice and close. They were amazing. Right, I'm going to tell you about the next month's challenge now. So we've still got another 10 to go through. We're going to talk about Mojo and all that kind of stuff in a minute. But I'm going to tell you about July's painting challenge. So it starts today, the 27th of June. And you have until Sunday, the 31st of July. So there's 5 whole weeks this one. It's a 5-week month. You've got loads of time for this one, right? So make sure that you kind of like, sort of, you got time to kind of think about what you want to do. And the subject is, drum roll, the topic is the other side. And what I mean by the other side is, this is in reference to a few different things. So first of all, we've got VJ flying from the other side of the world, coming to the UK from Australia. He's here for a few weeks. So we'll kind of dedicate this one to him for the long journey. RG saying until when? Until the 31st of July, buddy. So yes, so VJ is flying to the other side of the world. We've got a new series of Stranger Things out with the Upside Down, so that's kind of on the other side. So what I want you to do is kind of think outside of the box. Think about something. If you normally play the good guys in your game, maybe paint something from the other side. Maybe if you've bought a starter box and you've been working on something, maybe paint something for the other side for somebody else to kind of play with. Maybe if, like I say, if you're always the bad guys, paint some good guys, that kind of stuff. Maybe there might be something you want to paint upside down. I don't know, maybe there's something flying and it's flying upside down. Just kind of think outside of the box. You can paint something from the game, the other side. Just kind of think about it. Maybe you want to kind of sort of like think about painting it from, like, you know, when you do like zenithal priming and stuff, think about painting it like kind of one color from the bottom and another color from the top, rather than just kind of black and white priming. Like I've done it in the past with like a really bright pink from below and a yellow from above, and it gives a really nice thing. So like think about painting it from the other side if you like. So spraying up over into the model to give a different effect. You might want to try like kind of like some object source lighting. Think about the light coming from the other side of the light kind of thing onto the model. Use your imagination. I'm not going to kind of be really prescriptive on this one. It's really open to whatever you want to use this month. But just think if you can kind of tie it in with that idea, and it just gives you something a little bit different to think about. Andrew saying there, yes, the perfect idea. Actually paint something instead of not. Yeah, the other side of the model, mate. Use the other side of the brush. I think that'll be more effective, mate. Maybe that's what you should be doing. Yeah, Luke's saying, intriguing subject. Andrew says, you know, the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Try to hide, break on through to the other side. Maybe you want to paint doors, if that's what you want to do. Maybe you're doing a dungeon crawl and you want to paint some doors. If you want to paint the doors, I will give you that one for the other side as well. Luke saying, yeah, loads of things you could do for this. Lord Maiden saying, yes, yes, yes. Tony saying his mind is racing. And Ian saying he has the models on his desk. I'm never the bad guys. Now I have the bad guys. There you go. So, everybody seems to have some good ideas coming up. Just like, this is not about punishing people. This is about kind of just trying to give you some kind of creative juice to work from. So yeah, the other side is the topic. Remember, it starts today, it ends on Sunday, the 31st of July. Once you've done your model, email it to me, blackjacklegacy@gmail.com, and I'll be showing them off on Monday, the 1st of August. I'll put all of this into the post in the Facebook group, in the Patreon chat. I'll put it into the community tab on YouTube as well, so you don't have to remember everything now, but that's what the subject is this month. So yes, I thought we'd do something a little bit different this month. So there we go. Right, Mojo. We're talking about kind of trying to get your hobby mojo back. Now, when I'm talking about like your hobby mojo, I don't just mean painting, because I think in the past when we've talked about these things, it's generally about if you're in a bit of a painting slump, you don't really feel like picking up a brush, or especially this type of year, the weather's quite nice, you don't fancy sitting around in the house and stuff. But I think sometimes we all just kind of get into a bit of a hobby slump, and that can be playing games. It can be like a lot of us are collectors as well. It's not just about that, and there's just nothing much around at the minute that you're kind of wanting to collect. So I'm going to give you 10 tips plus a bonus one. I'm going to give you 11 tips tonight on kind of what you can do to try and get out of that hobby slump. And the first one I'm going to say is kind of, it links back to what I've been doing here with the studio, is tidy your hobby area. And it might be your painting area, it might be the kind of the storage area where you kind of put all your stuff. It might just be your desk. It might be your box of paint. Like if you haven't got a dedicated area, but all your stuff is just kind of thrown into a box, just give it a good sort out. You'll be amazed what it can do to kind of generate like a little bit of kind of sort of mental cleanliness, if you like. Just kind of having a bit of a tidy up. Clear the desk, give your brushes a good wash and all that kind of stuff, and look after them. Tidy up all of your paints and stuff. Maybe you want to kind of like just, you know, like even if you're using GW pots, you might want to give the lids a clean, like in the video that I showed. Anything like that. Sometimes just, as I said before, kind of that tidy house, tidy mind mentality is sometimes just enough to give you that little kick up the backside and kind of get you over a little bit of a slump. Number two, second one, is have your stuff more accessible. In the past, like it's if you've got a dedicated area, it's really, really helpful. If you haven't got a dedicated area, and like I said before, you may be painting out of a box or something like that, think about getting yourself like a little toolbox and having like a little sort of portable hobby kit that you can just basically have handy. So when the mood takes you, when you've got half an hour, like, you know, the little one's gone down to bed, you got your missus is going to kind of like sort of jump in the bath or something like that. You've got half an hour to yourself. You might say, right, I'm just going to grab my hobby stuff and I'm going to start painting. And it doesn't have to be everything you own. It might just be just the paints I need for this little project I'm working on at this time, and put them in a little toolbox or something like that. It might be a case of like, right, I'm just going to play like a little solo card game or something like that. It might be just something as a bit of a cleanser. It might be like, I'm going to put that. I've been meaning to read the latest Horus Heresy book or something like that. Stick it beside the bed or something like that. Stick it in your bag when you go to work and read some on your lunch. Try and just kind of make things accessible, so when the mood takes you, you're ready to kind of just pounce on this kind of stuff. Number 3 is get inspired. Think about the things that inspire you. Watch YouTube videos. Watch movies. If you're into historical stuff, get yourself watch some old war films. If you're into Warhammer stuff, you might want to subscribe to Warhammer Plus for a month. You might want to pick up the latest White Dwarf. You might want to read a Horus Heresy novel, or maybe one of the new horror novels. If you're into Mantic stuff, you might want to pick up one of the Mantic novels. There's some stuff, like some of the rule books and things have like amazing amounts of background stuff in, and there's some of them are on sale at the moment on the Crazy Bobby summer sale. So just try and put yourself in a situation where you're inspired. It might be listening to music. It might be watching movies. It might be watching TV shows. You know, if you're into your Marvel miniatures game, you might want to watch a few Marvel movies or something like that. It's amazing what just kind of stepping away from the hobby and inspiring yourself with things that are hobby adjacent that they can do as well. Even just a case of going for a walk and being inspired by kind of nature to the point where you think, oh, that's a great idea. I want to try and replicate that for kind of a basing scheme or for like a diorama or something like that. You'd be amazed at the stuff you kind of that can get the mental juices going. Number 4 is just try something completely new. Somebody in the Andrew is saying, Hobby Mojo tip, like the video and subscribe. Yes, please. Somebody said earlier on about just try a completely new game. Try something that maybe you didn't really think that was for you. You know, see if you can get a demo of it. See if somebody you know is playing the game and can kind of show you the ropes. You don't have to go and buy stuff. You don't have to kind of commit your life to it. But sometimes just trying something different, even trying something different that you don't enjoy, can remind you what you like about the game you do enjoy and get those kind of creative bits going again as well. Number 5. Join a community group online. If you're not already a member of the BlackJack Legacy community group on your Facebook, please come and join us over there. But yeah, join in a community group, see what other people are doing. Things like this stream tonight where you see what people are doing for the painting challenges. Join the painting challenge. If you know, like I've given you a new topic for next month now with the other side. Think about, you know, maybe that's something that will kind of get you inspired and kind of get you painting something a little bit different or playing a bit of a different game. Number 6, play more games. And when I say games, I mean any games. It doesn't matter if it's kind of going to your local store and getting games of 40k, or going to your store and getting in games of Kings of War. It might be just playing some board games at home. Sometimes it's just about rolling some dice, sitting with people, just remembering what it is you kind of, like kind of gives you sort of fun. What is it that you love about the hobby? What is it that bits like kind of really inspire you? Sometimes if you're a bit struggling from a painting side of things, playing a game can kind of give you that little kick about, oh, like in this game, I was really missing a unit of such and such. If I'll paint some of those up for my next game kind of thing. So it's amazing how those kind of things can just spark off some ideas. Number 7. Get your unpainted stuff out of sight. I'm a massive advocate for not having boxes and boxes of grey, unfinished, unbuilt minis lying around where you can see them. As you can see here, if I could turn the camera around now and show you, like I've had a proper clear out here. everything is organized next door, so it's out of my line of sight. I haven't got anywhere on my desk that I'll be kind of piling stuff up in front of me. I'll only have the stuff in front of me that I'm working on, and that way it lets me focus on one thing at a time and not worry about that kind of that whole kind of build up of just all that stuff that I need to do kind of thing. I always find it strange when people buy a full army and then build it all and then have it all kind of in front of them as like almost as this kind of like this thing just like nagging at them saying like, oh, you'll never get this done, you'll never get this done. I tend to have things like in little batches or little like project boxes to get them out of the way. My next tip is finish one thing. It doesn't matter what it is. It like just paint something for the sake of painting it, whether it's something new, whether it's something that is been sitting on your desk for 6 months that needs doing. Don't think about painting a full unit. Don't think about painting a full army. Don't think about making a full diorama. Just pick a model and just finish it. The enjoyment and the satisfaction you get from just having something completed is sometimes enough to make you kick on and do another one and then do another one and something like that. It might be a case of paint something for a board game, like just like maybe having a couple of painted minis for a board game might be enough to get somebody to play with you or something like that. Sometimes just completing one thing is enough to kind of get them juices flowing again. Number 9 is set yourself a deadline. We talked before about maybe signing up for a tournament, maybe doing a painting challenge like the one I've just been talking about. Maybe it's you've got a game with friends in a couple of weeks' time or something like that, and you want to paint a new model for it. But setting yourself a deadline and giving yourself something to focus on is sometimes enough to just break you out of the slump, because you hold yourself accountable. Like I've been in this kind of creative slump of late myself, where I kind of like, I'm feeling a bit aimless of stuff, but I still cranked out like 6 God tier war bands because I had a deadline. I had a date. I knew I was going to create a clash. I knew I wanted to have painted minis, and I had a deadline. So even though I wasn't really kind of firing on all cylinders from a creativity point of view, I had a job to do, and it got me going, and I was creative enough to be able to kind of finish those. So sometimes just setting that deadline, even if it's a soft deadline, if it's a deadline that you set with a friend or with it's somebody in like an online group, like a Discord group or a Facebook group, just kind of hold yourself accountable for something like that. Number 10, if nothing else is working, sometimes just take a break. Sometimes you just need to step away from it. Like I said, with what I'm doing, it's kind of hard just to kind of take a break and not do my job effectively, essentially. But when it's your hobby, remember it's your hobby. Your hobby's meant to be fun. It's meant to be something you do to relax. It's something you do to step away from kind of day-to-day problems, really. It shouldn't be the problem that's causing you the problems. And then my kind of bonus one, my last one, is use that time to sell off some unwanted stuff. It might be that actually we all end up with too much stuff. We all end up with a load of stuff that we'll never use. Some of us we've just been talking about tonight actually end up with a storage place to go and put all that unwanted stuff in. And maybe now is the time to to have a good, as I said before, about sorting out and tidying. Maybe now is a good time to kind of take that time to have a little bit of a break and sell off some of your old stuff that you know you'll never ever get to. And maybe that's going to free up some funds to maybe buy some new stuff that you do want to do. So when something grips you, when there's a new game comes out or a new model comes out and there's something you really do want to do, use them kind of new funds that you've just generated to buy the cool new stuff. So yes, like I said, I'm good at giving out advice. I'm not always so good at taking my own advice. But if you can think of any more, pop them in the chat and we'll go back and have a look over those ones. But yeah, there's 11 tips for you to try and kind of get you out of that slump, get your mojo juices flowing again, and get you back on the hobby train. Let's have a little look here. Let's have a little look. John saying he'd have to rewatch the stream. He's been cooking and he missed it. Andrew saying hobby mojo tip: like the video and subscribe. I hope you're all subscribed, folks. In fact, I think anybody that's chatting is definitely subscribed. But how many likes we got? We got 57 people in the chat tonight, and we got 32 likes. I know we can get more likes than 32. Terrible. Paul saying the stuff people put in the Discord is great for inspiration. There is that as well, mate. I think just seeing what other people are working on can be a great inspiration. Paul saying paint something for the sake of it. Yep, I have a box in the attic of random minis from loads of places. I bought them just to paint as a break from big project. And let me get a drink of water. From big projects. Absolutely, mate. Yellow Belly Tabletop says number 7 is bang on the money. Couldn't agree more. Number 7 was get your unpainted stuff out of sight. Yeah, I sometimes I can feel myself getting to a point where it almost feels a bit overwhelming. There's too much stuff, like, and it's in your line of sight. It's in your sight when you're sitting there trying to do something fun. And Tony saying, yeah, unpainted stuff in sight is soul destroying. It is, mate. And Paul saying the same thing as well. Big agree on putting stuff where you're not working on. Type 40 Charter says, the other side, I may now have a reason to paint Warhammer Underworld, Briar Queen and her retinue. There you go, mate. Underworld, I would suggest, is on the other side as well, isn't it? It's under the world. Peter said he's just got home from a meeting. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, mate. RG saying, finish one thing is so true. Fail to do it, but it's so true. Yeah, I can get into that as well, mate, sometimes. Tony says, I like the challenges that you and the friendly local gaming store set. Give me a chance to explore something I wouldn't normally do, and the deadlines help. Yeah, I mean, like I say, like I'm not about people kind of like sort of beating themselves up about failing a deadline. It's meant to be fun after all. But sometimes just having a date to, like, in the diary to get something done by is sometimes enough just to kind of give you that kick. And John said it's not the quantity of the likes but the quality. I agree with me, it is the quality, but that's not what YouTube thinks. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the last batch of submissions. So I'm going to get my emails back up here. So we start with Mr. Blizzards, and he has been painting Gerzag Iron Skull, or Gerzag Iron Skull and his boys. They've been touring the world, playing every dive bar from here to Mordheim for years, and needed a rest, so they rented this old fishing shack for the summer for a little rest and relaxation. And fishing, of course, there's always a relaxing time. And these are the Warhammer Underworld's War Band. I love it, mate. Very nice. Love the blue colours as well. They go nice with the green skins, and nice work on the axes as well, with the blades being blue as well. Lovely work, buddy. I love the squid or the octopus there in the background as well, breaking out. Nice work, man. Right, next up we have Mr. Wayne Hayward, and Wayne, I think, is blatantly obvious from the picture what he's been working on. He's been working on a certain Mr. Topical Mr. Vader there, and he said from Star Wars Legion, he said it's nothing fancy. Do not do yourself justice, mate. It looks fantastic. But to make the different materials stand out, I varnished the armor. I did the same thing, mate. I varnished the helmet, I think, on this one. Or did I? Yeah, I think I did. I think I varnished the helmet on it. The leather in satin, the cloth in matte varnishes, and the bases I do ultra matte. I like how the lightsaber core worked too. It looks great, mate. And he said, thank you for the effort you put in the community. You are very welcome, mate. Thank you for the very kind words, and thank you for entering and an amazing work you've done on here, mate. It looks super cool, and I think the varnishes has really, really helped to kind of differentiate some of the blacks as well. Nice work, buddy. Good job. Connor Sutton's up next. This is absolutely beautiful work, Connor. And Connor, it said, this is a 3D printed bust I painted as a Father's Day gift for my dad, who's recently got into video games and absolutely loved Horizon Zero Dawn. Connor, this is absolutely beautiful, mate. I'm going to have to kind of zoom in and show this off a little bit. The work on the eyes there, let me zoom right in here. It is absolutely amazing. I've got no idea the size of this thing, but the work is beautiful, mate. The skin tones with the kind of almost freckles on there as well. It is absolutely gorgeous piece of work, mate. And I'm sure that your dad absolutely loved this as well. Just absolutely blown away by this, mate. Everybody's work is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of proud of what everybody does, but this is just like I've not seen kind of like a bust like this before, mate. Like I've not seen like one entered into our little challenges, but it looks beautiful, mate. I would happily have that standing pride of place on my shelf, mate. Well done. Love that work. Paul Hemsel. Mr. Hemsel has been... He says these are 3D printed from Unit 9. Painted as Japanese Sectorial Army HVTs for Infinity. I like them, mate. Again, they've got that kind of cyberpunk, almost like Blade Runner-esque feel to them. They look really, really cool, mate. You can see them from the back there as well. Colour choices are awesome as well. Love that kind of yellowy gold with the purple. Goes really well, and the red and the brown goes nice together as well. Awesome work, buddy. Love them. Mr. Estel. He has been... what does his email say here? It says, this is my submission for June. I got the night as a... I won't tell everybody how old you are, mate. As a birthday present. And it was just something cool and huge to paint. I absolutely... He also says, thanks for all you do. You are very welcome, mate. Thank you for what you do as well. I must admit, I'd never really looked at these models in any real detail before. But when I saw, especially in comparison to the size of a Marine there, it does look like the kind of thing that would be a lot of fun to paint, mind. And you've done a super nice job on it. I really, really like the colours and the finish that you've got on it as well. A little bit of kind of weathering and stuff in places. Love the basin choice as well. They're nicer bases. But that looks tip-top, mate. Love it. The decals are super, super smooth. Really well applied, mate. Little bit of kind of panel lining as well, just to kind of set it off. Yeah, really nice work, mate. I must admit, I've kind of been looking at a few bits and pieces just as like a bit of a painting project, just to kind of break me out my slump. And these kind of things, I can imagine, are a lot of fun. It didn't take you long to paint as well, I seem to remember, mate. It's not that long ago it was your birthday, so... Yeah, you've done some sterling work there, mate. Love those. How tall are these models, just out of interest? I mean, I'm trying to work it out from the Marine, who also is painted very well. Let me go back to that first picture. I'm trying to work out in context sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe six Marines tall, maybe 7. What's that? It must stand at least a foot high, I would imagine, is it? I'm sure somebody will tell me how tall they are in the chat. Awesome work, mate. Thank you very much. Fast Panda has been painting some Back to the Future. And he said, it's a fun bit of scatter terrain for Infinity Table. He says, why not? It's only 300 plus years in the future. Officially, it's the Chronal Corvette from Crooked Dice, but we all know what it is. I picked it up at the UK Games Expo, and it's the first thing I've bought from them. They have an excellent range and would recommend checking them out. A quick airbrush and a bit of detail, not bad for a couple of hours on a Sunday afternoon, if I do say so myself. And he also says, and I still want a game of Infinity with you. Yes, mate, we do need to organise that at some point. But yes, we certainly have a DeLorean there, I think. It goes without saying. Really, really nice, mate. I like that model. There's quite a lot of detail to it as well, actually, when you look at like this kind of stuff around here and that. Very nice. I assume you stuck it on those Infinity bases. I like it. And, I mean, if you zoom in super close, it looks like it's... Yeah, it is 3D printed, he said, didn't he? But it's hard to tell. It looks nice, though. Yeah, nice work on the paint as well, buddy. Love the kind of the wires and stuff, the cables running down the side. And there he is as well, just to kind of clarify it. Thanks, mate. Love that. And yeah, let's get that game set up. Stephen Hallowich. We've got... Steve says... Type 40 TARDIS. Yeah, sorry, mate, I forgot. It basically says, your open-ended challenge inspired me. Could I do a complete Monster Apocalypse Force mono faction in the shortest amount of time? 4 giant monsters and 20 smaller unit monsters. All completed in 4 days. That is an amazing feat, mate. And he says, may I present my tournament-ready Empire of the Apes Force. So this is King Condor. And then I think next up we've got... General Hondo, I think it is, which is the same one that VJ had been painting as well. Awesome, nice work, mate. Love the colour choices. We've then got, is it White Dejan, which just looks a bit like an ice troll type thing as well. Love that, mate. Nice work on the fur as well. And then, oh no, the first one was General Hondo. It's the way the email's done. So there we go. It's because it's not opening them. It's some of them I think are a different file type, so it's opening them in the things. So I think this is Gakura. I think is it? This is number 4, yeah. And then we've got and we've got these guys as well. So I think these are Rocket Apes. Can I zoom in on this one? There we go. These are the little Rocket Apes. Nice work on them, mate. And then we've got... What do we get in here? These ones, I'm assuming, are Bomber Apes. Oh, yeah. Which look pretty cool. Nice work on them as well. And then we got... What's these ones? Let's zoom in on these as well. And these ones I think are Assault Apes and the Ape Infiltrator. Very nice, mate. And then we've also got the last one here, which I think are Gunner Apes. Yeah, I think we got there in the end. There's just a couple of different file types, and it's the software doesn't like switching between them. Nice work, mate. Doing all those in 4 days is some going, buddy. Well done. Well done indeed. Love them. Ed Handley is up next. And Ed has been painting. He says these are unquestionably the most appropriate minis for a summer themed challenge. Being snow troopers. I like them, mate. Lovely colour choice. Love the kind of creaminess with the white as well. Looks nice. Good work on the lenses. Yeah, love them, mate. And even the little buttons as well on the chest. Nice work, mate. I love those. Nice basing as well. Awesome. Well done, buddy. Next up, we got Vincent. And Vincent has been doing Test of Honor Warband. That's what it says. Test of Honor. I don't know which warband it is, but they are for Test of Honor. So you can see those there. Nicely done. Love that like pale blue. Looks really, really nice. Really like those. Well done, Vincent. And then last but not least, Mr. Paul Inman, who just snuck in about 2 minutes to 9 before I started. And Paul said he's painted because another channel he follows has a painting competition of Paint a Champion. The channel has a strong GW bias, but it's not a requirement. So he tries to throw something out of left field into it. This is a Aether-fled warrior, Queen of Mercia, who he's going to be using as a warlord in Saga Age of Magic. And the other, if it really needs any introduction, is Leonidas of Sparta, as imagined by Frank Miller. He's also doubling up as a character in D&D. So I'm assuming this is the Leonidas model, which looks cool, mate. Love that. Love the skin tone as well. Very, very nice, mate. Awesome with the red cape and the little gem there as well. Really nicely done. And then here we are with the, what was it, Queen of Mercia. Nice, mate. Those their little flower base. And I bought some of these recently from my God tier minis. They really do set minis off, don't they? But beautiful work, mate. Really, really nice. Awesome work. So, folks, that is another month's challenge done. 30 submissions. Not too bad at all. And John saying, yeah, they're 7 inches tall, mate. Yeah, 7. Yeah, that's probably 7 inches. I thought it'd be taller than that, actually, mate, from the pictures. But yeah, nice work, mate. Nice work. Looks awesome. Peter saying has his already passed. I think, mate. Yeah, you were in the first batch, mate. You were the 9th one, so you'd probably be about 20 to 10. I think it must have been on, mate. I think. Tony saying, yeah, nice save, Paul. Love the influence in the work. Yeah, nice stuff, isn't it? And Jez is saying, all amazing. They absolutely are all amazing. James says, you didn't show my minis, mate. I don't think you sent any, mate, did you? That'll be why. Did you send me some? Because I haven't got the email, mate. Oh yeah, he didn't paint them. There you go. I was going to say that'll be why. And RG saying, awesome work, everyone. Yeah, thank you again, everybody. I always appreciate you all sending them in. It's nice to kind of have people sort of taking part in this every month. and it's kind of like it's always a pleasure to kind of show them off to everybody as well, so they can all see the community's work. You remember next month's painting challenge starts today, and it is the other side. Just think about how you can kind of build that theme in. You can do some weird and wonderful things with it. You could paint yourself a Stranger Things diorama if you really want to. You can paint something, like I said before, you know, maybe you've got like a little starter box or something like that, and you're going to paint the other side to the one that you want to play to kind of demo to a friend or something like that. There's many different ways you can kind of stretch that theme and make it work. So yeah, Tony laughing away there as well. So folks, we've shown off 30 sets of photos there. We've talked about trying to get your hobby mojo back. We've talked a little bit about the new setup here as well, and about my own personal issues of trying to kind of give myself a kick up the backside. I'm sure it will all work itself out, but yeah, a little bit of patience will be appreciated in the near future until I do manage to kind of get the ball rolling again. But yeah, if folks want a bit of a tour around here, I'm happy to kind of get the camera out and give you a little bit of behind the scenes. I can do that tomorrow and give you something to watch, and it just kind of gives you an idea of like what's here really, like what's, like, you know, the work I've kind of put in. It's one of those things where, you know, it still takes time, it's still work, it's just not work that kind of gets seen really. That's it. Jez is saying, great work, awesome variety, and good mojo tips too. Thank you very much, mate. Tony's saying, yeah, he's going to finish a mini that he started and mucked up. There you go, mate. You're pulling it through to the other side, getting it out of the unpainted pile into the painted pile. And Ian saying, oh yes, please. Yeah, I definitely will, mate. It's just like randomly kind of like show you around some bits and pieces. It's not kind of completely finished, as in so the other end of the studio here, which is the bit you normally see with the TV screen, I've got like kind of like units, Kallax units at the side there now, and I'm kind of just looking for like sort of like nice geeky stuff to kind of put on the shelves. I've bought myself some like acrylic shelves to actually display some minis on. So I've got some God tier minis over there, I've got my Marvel minis over there, I've got my Enforcers firefight army over here, I've got things like my Vader helmet and my X-Wing pilot helmet and my Rams helmet, and like, you know, like those kind of like geeky bits and pieces. I've got my God tier belt up on the top there as well. So it's nice to kind of have like some things on display, but there's a lot of empty spaces at the moment, so I need to find more geeky stuff to fill those shelves with. And John's saying there about a video of the studio should get the ball rolling, like painting a different mini to get the juices flowing. I think so, mate. Sometimes it's just like filming something and editing something and uploading something is sometimes enough just to kind of get the ball rolling a bit. But what I have been doing is I've been downloading some free 3D printer files of like busts to print out. And I just kind of been thinking about like sort of like, you know, maybe using them as a video, like a video in themselves as well, of like maybe painting something a little bit different. It doesn't have to be about games all the time. If there's no games that are really kind of sort of scratching my itch to, like, I mean, there's games I am enjoying playing, but there's not necessarily anything new to talk about. There's no real new news kind of thing. There's nothing like that type of stuff. So sometimes it's just, you know, try something a little bit different. So I actually printed off and I've primed myself a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That's kind of that's one bust I've done. I'm busy at the minute. The printer's running away in the background and it's printing off like a Joker bust. And I think I've got another one as well, which is, I'm trying to remember what it is now. It is, oh no, my mind's gone blank. There's another one as well that is a file on the printer ready to go as well. So yeah, so I might try and turn them into a, maybe even kind of talk about like kind of hobby motivation and all that kind of stuff, and turn that video with kind of that those being kind of painted in the background as a bit of a kind of a video thing. So we'll see what we can do. I'm trying to kind of like sort of kickstart some ideas, but something will come up. Anyway, I think we'll round it off there. We've had a good night tonight. There's been a good crowd in. Thank you very much for your continued support and your patience in this time of creative caverns. But yeah, I'll get something done tomorrow with a bit of a tour around the studio here, so you can kind of see behind the scenes. And I will see you all in next Monday's video, where we do have Discourse Miniatures coming and joining me, and we'll be chatting all manner of things gaming related and tabletop and minis, and no doubt we'll be talking about some controversial subjects as well. So, take care everybody, and I will see you next week.